What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking solo leveling, the last 3 episodes of Season 1. Some of us are loving it, some of us are not, it sounds like. We also got some Marvel, DC, and Star Wars news and rumors to talk about. But before we get into all of that fun, Dave, Doug, how's it going, gentlemen?
Well, Keith, I am fan-freaking-tastic, and yes, I'm normally the center, and I am again not the center, the center.
You're the
Uh,
center of my universe.
oh, am I? Oh, that's so nice. Keith's hurt by that, by the way. Did you see his face?
No, no, not at all. I was like, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, to me, it's hitting a little bit different. I'm wondering if anime is for me after this, because if this is good anime and it's, not the top of the line, it's really not the top of the line for me. So I'm wondering if anime is my thing at all, or if I'm just catching things out of my genre, I guess.
As I say, it's okay to not like something. Doesn't mean you hate the
Yeah.
whole thing. You know what? I didn't like Morbius. I hate movies now. Maybe movies
Well, no.
aren't for me.
Just look at our history of the anime we've been watching, and over half of them I haven't liked. So
Oh, that's fair.
that's where the question arose.
Wait, you didn't
What?
like Death Note?
What? I
You didn't like
what?
Death Note?
No, I love Death Note.
Okay.
So wait, he liked Cowboy Bebop. He liked Death Note. Didn't like Uncle
What about
from Another Mother.
Right?
what about the Erased?
Eh.
Erased.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, did we do anything after
And then
Erased?
Uh, Lazarus.
Oh, Lazarus too.
That doesn't count. We
Plus-
all hated that.
Yeah, that does not count. But yeah, you
And then
haven't,
not-
there's
that's
one
not-
that one.
you haven't been
So-
enjoying the non-upper echelon top of the.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's because we started off with like some of the best. Because really, if you ask anybody who watches anime, Cowboy Bebop and Bleach are Cowboy Bebop and Death Note are like up there at the very top.
No, those were great. Great
So
stories.
like
Great
now
animation.
everything is going to seem like shit compared.
Yeah, it's kind of like when I started playing the drums. When I was a kid, I started playing Rush immediately, and then I
Mhm.
started playing other stuff. And I'm like, where's the drumming? It's just straightforward. Maybe that's the same thing here, and then I'll gain some
Could be.
traction. Could be,
I hadn't thought of that.
but you never know. I also saw Akira the movie, but I didn't like that either.
Yeah, I told you weren't gonna like it.
So
As soon as you
I
said
don't
you
know.
were gonna watch it.
We'll get into it in a minute, but I don't know how much critiquing I have to do. It's just we'll get into that. Um, so without further ado, I'll ask so we can move on. Doug, how are you doing tonight?
Well, Dave, let me tell you, I am outstanding. I'm a little tired, but whatever. It's Thursday. I've had a long week, but other than that, I'm very good because had a cup of coffee before going on, reinvigorated, got some caffeine rushing through my old veins, and I'm ready to talk some anime with you fine gentlemen. And Dave, I do hope that you're not like completely burnt on anime. I think there are still some good ones. It depends on what kind of genre you like. I think at the end of the day, that's why I had to when I originally made the book. I was like, I have to split this up. There's too many genres. It's like you can't just say all anime because there's so many different types. But yeah, I don't like personally out of anime. I don't like the I guess it's called slice of life harem anime. Essentially, it's where the main guy character has to juggle dating like 5 to 20 different women at the same time, and that stuff gets irritating. I don't like that type of anime, and there's a lot of it out there.
Oh,
A lot of it. Once anime artists, or I guess manga artists, once they find like a specific genre that people are eating up, reading and watching and everything, they all just like have to do their own variations of it.
yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
And
solo
with there
leveling
being
is
so
just
many, yeah, with there being so many properties out there,
oh yeah.
that's got to be going down, creating new wormholes and new genres as you go, like subgenres.
Oh, yeah.
everything.
And honestly, that genre sounds like for younger men who would find, be like, oh man, this stud's juggling women. And the rest of us are like, oh dear God, I do not want to see this. I've never seen that, but I can't imagine I would enjoy that.
If I was like in this, I'd just be like, oh my God, okay. Let me flip through my book. Who is it today? Oh God.
Did you just yell at Dave?
I did. I'm
did,
sorry.
Dawn.
You
I'm
started.
like Doug. I'm tired.
Well, then you should have done what I did and ingest massive unhealthy amounts of caffeine.
I do have some Monster in there, but I already had one today, so I don't want to like give myself a heart attack or something, you know. So.
I mean, that might do good for
Art-
views.
Heck?
Why are you always thinking of yourself?
You know, I'm so selfish. I know.
My heart hasn't stopped beating 100 miles per minute.
What are you saying? Huh? What are you, okay. What are we doing? We're gonna pick that up. Put it in your room, but pick it up first. You know, like stuff like that.
Coke slows me down.
Yeah, cocaine. I got a mirror in my bathroom full of cocaine, and that just slows me down.
I feel like the Flash when he's just like walking around, pushing bullets out of the way. So, Keith, how are you doing, sir?
Thank you for asking. I am tremendous. Last day of working for the week, heading to Chicago tomorrow. Digging,
Nice.
enjoyed the finale of season 1 of Solo Leveling. And, I think I'm a little more into the anime than Mr. Dave, and we can certainly talk about that. So I think without further ado, gentlemen, let's talk Solo Leveling. We finished up season 1 tonight with 3 episodes. What is this? A picnic? A knight who defends an empty throne? And a rise. And it starts, and one of the things I kind of like about this, they've done a good job with Jinwoo from going from, and you see it in one of the episodes, I think it was the second episode 11, where like old Jinwoo was talking to new Jinwoo, and see how different they really are. He has come a long ways in this first season. But this starts off, he's talking, or Jin-hee is telling Jinwoo that she's retiring as a hunter, which I was kind of sad about. One of those things. I was really expecting them to like start dating and have a connection. So when she's like, yeah, I'm retiring, I'm going to go move with my parents, I was kind of like, I did not see that coming. Okay. Kind of dig that.
I've dealt with massive trauma. I watched a bunch of people die. I nearly died myself. I don't sleep anymore. So, yeah, I think I'm retiring.
I hope she made
Well,
a lot
she
of
could have got some Jinwoo booty, but she blew it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She certainly did.
I was gonna make a joke there, and then I thought, no,
Good.
too low.
I thought the same thing, and
Family
I'm
show.
like, yeah, this is a family show.
A little bit lowbrow.
8:44
A little
Eastern
too.
time.
I was about to, and I'm like, no, Doug, you're better than that.
8:44 Eastern time is a little too early for that, Doug. But then Jin Ho, we find out, is buying all the dungeon rights for all of the C-level dungeons. And I love this fact that they recruited just a bunch. The
People who were
dregs
like
of
sick,
the hunters.
injured, low ranked.
Alcoholics. The one dude was just drinking while they're sitting there. And it's,
Hey, you want me to drive?
I want to do something. But they're just like, sit here, we're going to go do the dungeon. And, the one girl, the kid, who was very offended by being called that, was kind of like figuring it out. But they would go in and just come out.
The literal high school was offended at being called what she is. Oh yeah, that tracks.
As you say, yeah, if I know a high schooler, she lives in this
Yeah.
house. That definitely tracks. But they're just clearing these out. They're trying to get the 19 down so they can get the guild status, all the stuff they're doing. But once again, for somebody who wants to lay low, and while I was watching this, I was like, he is not Light. Light anticipated every possibility when he was trying to keep things on the DL.
Mm-hmm.
Jinwoo wants to, but he's not good
He's
at
so
it.
bad at it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we just wiped out. Wait, you're E, he's a D, and you guys are clearing these sea level dungeons like they're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. The rest of the people are
Hey,
like, I'm
you
getting
guys
3
be
million.
quiet about it now.
Hey, I'm getting
You
3
guys
million.
just sit here and collect your money. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what he gets for like barely putting any points into intelligence. Like he even admits it. We'll talk about it like when we get to episode 11, but like he even outright admits, "Oh man, I haven't put like any points into intelligence." Yeah, I can tell, dude.
I like that. I was going to mention that when we talked about it because when he said that, I was like, oh wow, that really does track with how he's
Yeah.
acting. That I thought they did a great job in writing that in, and then when he said it, I was like,
Yeah.
you're right, you didn't.
You're a meathead, like through and through.
Definitely a
Don't go
meathead.
jumping ahead now, guys. That's not like us.
We never do that.
No.
But we found out the White Tiger Guild is figuring out too what's going on with Jinwoo, and he assumes he's had a reawakening, and he goes to try to recruit him. And oh man, did Jinwoo just pull the wool over his
That
eyes on that one?
Was sick. Oh my god, I loved that meeting. That was the one time when he was able to actually outsmart somebody.
I was gonna say he certainly appeared intelligent in that scene.
Right.
But I think because he had time to plan it all out, and he fit because he's like, I can't work tomorrow, and he didn't want his buddy to lose all that money,
Right.
or put it off. So he's like, I think I have a plan. And when he started talking to him, because man, he was like, okay, 300 million, which they talk such huge numbers in this show. When they were like, you want to get paid 3 million for this? Then just sit down and quiet. I was like,
I assume it has something to do with the currency exchange.
That's
Yeah, it
true.
makes sense.
If you watch Squid Game, each one of them owes like over 100 million or whatever the currency is. So it's got to translate to something lower in
Yeah.
dollars.
I know even Japanese yen, I think like 1,000 yen equals out to like $1.
Yeah, it's there's an exchange rate there. Let's just
Yeah,
say that.
exactly.
100%. But Dave, you talking about the intelligence thing? He still made a fatal mistake. While he kind of pulled the wool over him a little bit by getting him to pay for all that money when a bunch were going to open up the next day anyway. He really let him know. He's like, oh my God, they're willing to pay you 50 billion. You get that complex. There's much more to this than he is letting on, and I really need to know. And then he showed him he had the stealth power, which I thought was a huge mistake. And cut him, and then also showed him that he's got healing. He pretty much showed him that he is what that assassin from the last 3 episodes we watched. He's like, what are you? You can't be an assassin and have healing magic and have all this. No one's like that. So he's let the assassin's dead, of course, but this guy's alive and walking around with his little buddy, and he showed him everything he's got. He's pretty much spilled the beans. And while that guy's probably keeping quiet after his threat, it's still going to get out. He did a poor job of hiding what he is.
Oh yeah, and then he even gives the dude his contact info. Now I don't know if that was intentional or if that was a slip up on his part.
I kind of took it like it was intentional.
Okay.
Like he's open to being recruited. Like he may help build, because we don't know what his contract is. He had to do these 19 raids to get up to 20 raids, and he has that building. But it doesn't mean he couldn't work for the White Tiger Guild too, because especially he's shown that he can do a lot more than normal hunters, especially with his full restores that he gets from doing his daily ups. So I think he was open to working for him at some point, possibly.
Okay. I do like, I don't remember if it was in this episode or the next one, but I do like that they mention this fact about S-rank hunters. And it kind of made me think of Man of Steel. Could you imagine living in a world where you knew Superman would not only knock down like half of Metropolis, but would then easily snap somebody's neck and also won't save his dad? Imagine if you lived in a country where there was 10 of those. And they had even less morals.
10 Homelanders.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's much better. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. when they're like, oh, he's S ranked. There's nothing. He's essentially above the law, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it would probably be like that because what are they gonna do? Like, unless the person's like, yeah, you're right. I committed a crime. Go ahead and arrest me. Like, but they're not gonna do that.
I do as I please.
Yeah.
But then our hero gets a message. He met the level requirement. He reached level 40, which it seems like he's leveled up a lot more than 40 times. But
Yeah,
I'm
I
not getting
thought
into
so,
that.
too.
I'm not going to talk about that. He's offered a job change quest. Which, as any video game, you can get a special class or some new. Yeah, let's do it. So, the next episode, a knight who defends an empty throne, he decides to go off and do this job change quest and is teleported to a massive castle. And he is fighting waves of knights, assassins, mages. All of this is mimicking everything he's fought previously.
Mm-hmm. And I like how he realizes that as soon as he takes his knife and he can't break the armor of the one knight, and it's starting to occur to him, this reminds me of that snake that I fought.
And he has the powers that he can't use on this mission, and he can't leave. And he can't leave until the mission is complete. So
he wasn't allowed to drink potions, right?
Correct.
Right, he could use potions.
Mm-hmm.
No healing, no potions.
Yeah.
No stealth either, right?
No special abilities either. Yeah. No, he could use stealth.
Yeah, so he had to think. That's where it came up with the intelligence. That he had to think.
Yes. You're right. Yep.
But he eventually beats all of these people, and he has to fight Egris, the blood. Well, I put the blood red knight commander, but it was something else.
Yep. No, it was the blood red knight commander Egris.
And
with the cool hair.
Yeah, definitely. Egris is as fast, much stronger, and he is just absolutely wiping the floor. I didn't mean to say that, but yes, absolutely.
I am going to share with you an image I meant to earlier. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff was left out of the anime. So I just shared a picture with you guys. And if you want to throw it up on, or if you're able to throw it up, you can show the audience. But one of the things they left out is what he looked like, because they did an entire section in the, I think it's called Webtoon. I think is what the Korean version of a manga is.
Manga?
Yeah, but in that, it goes through his whole backstory, and it shows, what his face looked like. And so these are essentially, what it's revealing is, these are other people from, like, an alternate universe, whether they're demons or humans or elves or whatever. They're alive, too. Or at least some of them were at one point, anyway.
Are they wraiths? Like, not alive, but...
I think this group, I believe they're, like, just undead or whatever.
More vampirish?
Something like that. Maybe zombies might be closer. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did like the fact that
it was interesting when I found that out.
I did like the fact that the mages were just summoning that, and he was smart enough to figure out, hey, wait a minute, I'm not getting experience. Oh, it's the mages. I need to focus all my attention on them. And he ends up... Oh, that was after. Forget it. That was after he beats Egris. But he does end up beating him by just basically not giving up, having that willpower and being able to, fight through it. He ends up... Is Doug frozen on your screen too, Dave?
What?
No.
He's frozen on mine.
Really?
I can hear him. Oh, there he goes. Now he's good. I can hear him, no problem, but you were, like, stuck for a while. But your voice was fine. Okay. You're good now.
Weird.
Yeah. I was like, at first I thought I was having a problem, and I was like, oh, this better not start happening again.
Hope not.
But, he ends up beating Egris, and then they finds out now the mission really begins, or the quest really begins. You have to survive as long as possible, basically against an endless amount of enemies. And there's just portals and
And this
enemies flowing.
timer pops up, and oh my gosh, like I loved after he had beat Iggers. I love how like he's going through his spoils and he thinks, oh man, I'm awesome. I grabbed that dude, I bashed him into a wall. I'm so awesome. I just won, I defeated all these. Wait, weird. Why am I still here? What's happening? Like it has to dawn on him for a second. He's got to like work through it. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh no.
And of course, we forgot to mention, but he did forget to do his daily strength exercises
about to
before
say
he
that.
went in.
That was the perfect Chekhov's gun. I like that they mentioned that in the beginning, and he's kind of like, again, nonchalant about it. He's like, oh, hey, I forgot to do my daily tasks. Oh, well, I'll just do this real quick, and then
Yeah. I'll do this
Like,
when I get back. It's like
Right,
cleaning
yeah.
my room or doing the
this is
dishes.
going to be a breeze. It's no big deal. Thankfully, his, like, laziness and lack of, understanding the concept of time worked in his favor.
Oh, and the one thing I did think too, when he was fighting Igris, I thought for sure him sitting in a seat, he would become like the new king. His new job
I
was going to
thought
be
that
king of
too.
something. And
The
then when he
first
sat
time
down,
I saw this, I thought for sure that that's what Igris was waiting for. And I'm sitting there like I'm yelling at the TV because I know this dude is a meathead idiot. And I'm like, just sit in the throne. You saw him in front of the throne. He wants a king. And then when he was in there, I'm like, wait, why isn't this working? Shoot. Am I the dummy?
oh my God, he's about, well, I think they tricked us a little bit, like a knight who defends an empty throne. I'm like, they're
Yeah.
giving us a clue. Thanks, guys. They did.
In a normal game, would that not have made sense?
Yes, 100%. 100%. But he does end up beating him. He gets tons of treasure and armor. He got the helmet, the S rank helmet from that guy, which was
The magic helmet, the spear, and magic helmet.
I gotta say, that was one thing that I didn't like about I understand why they chose to go this route of all of the armor and accessories that he wears are, like invisible, but like that's such a cop out. Come on.
I
Give the
agree.
kid some limits.
I agree too, because it would have been harder for him to hide it. He would have had a tougher time making it invisible.
And it would have been harder for him to move too.
Yes.
But instead he's like, oh hey, I'm moving just fine. No, dude, you should be hindered. Come on.
Yeah. You don't get heavy armor. You don't get the protections of heavy armor in a game like that without your dexterity and agility being hampered by it. So
Exactly.
I agree, sir.
Oh.
That was.
It was mithril. Okay, he was fine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Invisible mithril. Yes, love it. But then we do also find out. We have been getting these hints that one head of the guild, they want to go back to Jeju Island, where there was an S rank dungeon where they broke out, and they've tried, I think, a couple times to go back and kind of kill all the monsters and get it off the island, but they have been unsuccessful, and they're heading there again to do it.
This was, if you guys remember, this was the island that appeared in the very first episode that they were talking about. When they had mentioned, when the portals first appeared, there was a big thing called the Jeju Island raid. I think it took place like 10 years before the season started, and a bunch of people died, and they essentially had to give up the island.
And so we see them heading there, and that's where we start the last episode. Arise, young Skywalker. Arise. And, at this point, he's overwhelmed. It's an endless horde. He's kind of almost ready to give up when the timer for the daily quest ends. And he gets teleported to the penalty zone, where he's leveled up a little bit since that first time, and he ends up just destroying those beasts. And he's allowed to level up there. He's allowed to, heal
Potions.
and do all those things. Yeah, so he ends up taking that to full advantage. And when he's done with the penalty zone and goes back, he is just, he buys that new Knight Breaker sword. I didn't write down what it's called, and he just starts thrashing
Wailing on
through
him.
them. Yes.
Yep. I also like that, like, when he goes to the penalty zone at first, he's kind of looking around, almost nostalgic, oh, this is a penalty zone? Boy, I was running and I was so afraid last time. I wonder if I can take those centipedes now.
And he did. Oh, did he? And once again, he leveled up. Like they show like 4 levels up. So next season he'll be level 41. But
So I assume the system then doesn't change the penalty, like it's just always the same. It's because it said in the beginning, if I remember right, didn't it say like an appropriate penalty will be given for not completing it? So I kind of thought that if he did it again, the penalty would change to match like his current level or whatever, but I guess it doesn't.
the only thing I can think of is there was a lot more of those worms. Seemingly this time, we only saw one
Hmm.
that first time.
That's
and there
true,
was
and
a
I think
bunch
there
this
was
time.
yeah.
So maybe
Okay.
the penalty levels up with the character a little bit.
Hmm.
But he comes back, he's running through the hordes, and he does finally figure out that, hey, I'm not getting any experience or anything for all of these nights I am just going through, and they just keep coming out. I bet it's the mages. And he counts 5 of them, and he starts picking them off. They decide to build a giant golem to try to stop him, which, unfortunately, they're planned to the last 3 to be together to summon this golem. Probably didn't work out too well in their end because
No.
he dashed and just destroyed them. But the golem didn't go away right away. And he was he had to exert
In
a
between
little
a
effort.
rock and a hard place?
Ayo!
Precious. Oh, sorry.
Whoa. Golem? But
Ah, that was good.
he ends up taking care of it, and he's just, the system's going nuts. Just, you exceeded all expectations, you're getting bonus points, and, we think with what you're doing, you should be a necromancer. That's your new job. Do you want to take it?
He's so pissed about that.
I was too. I was like, what did he ever do to become a necromancer?
Right?
And of course, he's like, no. And it's like, are you sure you don't want to? This is a special, class, a hidden class. And and he's like, you know what? Maybe this won't be so bad after all. Thank you for asking me 10 times if I'm sure I want to do this.
Hold on. Let me up my intelligence and then you can ask me again.
Yes.
An attribute slider I got right here. That's a Rick and Morty reference, by the way.
The song is playing. But, he ends up accepting it and he starts learning about all these new powers. And he gets a title, Shadow Monarch. Which I was like, okay, he's
now
definitely,
he's the king.
now he's bringing up Egress, yes. And he does. He ends up finding out he can, bring these sort of bodies back up. He can store them for future use, but it is limited. So he does some of the guys that he had done, he put back and he walks over and he's like, all right, Egress, come to me. And he doesn't the first time. And he finds out he only got 3 attempts to try to bring him. So he does it a second time, fails, and he's like, you have no king. You need someone to follow. Follow me. I will be that. And he ending up following him, which, I thought was nice. He wasn't just...
He wasn't able to just wing it right away. Yeah, no, I am glad that they're... Again, anytime where the main character is some sort of like undefeatable tank, I do like when they put some sort of limits in their place. That's why I was a little disappointed about the armor thing.
Yeah, agreed. And
One Punch Man.
we do
What's
have
that,
a
Dave?
comment.
I said it's like one Punch Man.
Oh, yeah.
He can always win.
Yeah. We do have a comment from Kevin Davis on YouTube. Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four First Steps will do well once it hits Disney Plus. I believe you are correct, sir. I know they probably wanted those to make a little more money than they are, but they both made slight profits, so it's not a big deal. Now, if Doomsday underperforms, that could be problems. But they got the X-Men coming. They're fine. They're going to be fine. But to end this episode, and we find out, I kept thinking the season was going to end on this, but we find out all of those S-rank hunters going to Jeju Island, they kind of find out that these monsters are evolving, and they are figuring out a way to get off that island and wreak havoc throughout the lands. So it was kind of fitting that they were going out there to try to do it, and they're finding out, hey, this is no longer just something we feel like we got to do because of the nightmares we're having, the ones that were on there and all this stuff. This is becoming a major problem, which I do think will tie into, at some point, Jinwoo being powerful enough. he's gonna have to admit what he is and head to that island to, save the world basically. And as hidden as he wants to be, he's gonna have to step into the spotlight. No one with that much power, no S-ranked hunter, which he's quickly becoming, isn't famous in this world.
He's on too many people's radars. The fact that so many people are recognizing, they're putting together the puzzle, right? There's too many, the pattern, right? Like everybody is noticing, every time there's like a huge catastrophe, he's always involved. He was there in the double dungeon. He was like one of the only people to survive. He was there in, that where those guys went and tried to kill everybody, and him and his buddy survived. Then when that assassin, he was like one of the only people to survive. And they're starting to realize, you know what? Something's not adding up. And you can tell, like, other people are starting to question, maybe he really did have a reawakening.
I mean, it's the only logical thought pattern because they don't know about leveling up. They don't know about the system.
No, they don't know about the system or anything like that.
So it's the only logical explanation on how an E-rank hunter has survived all of this stuff by himself when much more powerful hunters rank-wise have not.
Yep.
Yep, that's why they tried to recruit him.
I also like that. Was it? It was in. Was it this last episode or was it the episode 11 where Jin Sung is talking to his father?
I think it was this one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's like, so I noticed that you're starting to make some waves. You're getting in there, and you've been doing all these things, and you've done enough dungeon raids that you can officially be considered a guild master. Now, why would you do that knowing full well that your brother was trying to tackle that?
And his brother even kind of like, what you're doing
What are you planning? Like, what's going on, dude?
Yeah.
Like, you need to stay in your lane.
And it's nice because, not everything was fully wrapped up in season 1. They have a bunch of plot points, which I assume we will get in season 2 and possibly season 3.
We've got Jeju Island. We've got to figure out, Jin Sung's got to figure out whether he's going to keep pretending like he's not super powerful. He still has to get the cure-all for his mother.
Yep. He's got to go back to that main the S-rank dungeon that he started. We got to find out about Jo Hee and whether she's going to come back and be a love interest. I know that's
right.
Very important. There's a lot going on, and I like that it's not all wrapped up in season 1.
Exactly.
It's not everything. They've hopefully thought this through for multiple seasons, so they have the stuff. They're sprinkling it in, and we'll see it as seasons come out. Things start to wrap up.
Well, thankfully, they do still have the last. I don't know if it's No, it's not chapter. Wouldn't be the right word. The last arc, I guess, of the novel is still in the works. So they still have that to do, like another couple of seasons based off of. So I think they probably have at least 2 more seasons that they can pump out.
Good.
So far, I know there's at least 2 because when this season ended, I just kind of flowed right into season 2 without realizing. Yeah. And so, how many do they have? I didn't check.
There's only 2 seasons right now. I'm sorry, gotcha. 2 seasons right now.
Yep. It's 2 right now. I think they can probably get 2 more. Now, the one thing that I wish they would do, I wish that these seasons were a little longer. I know that anime and other shows in the past, it was easy to see, like 30 episodes a season, like 60 episodes, or some of the shonen anime, like 120 episodes per season. I'm not saying that solo leveling needed that much, but I think if they would have allowed themselves more than, this standard 12 that they've been doing lately, they could have filled in a little bit more of that backstory. They could have showed us some of the stuff that Jinwoo had been doing as part of his, training and leveling up and everything, showing us the skills that he chooses as he learns how to use the system. I do think that we are missing out on a lot just for the sake of showing, badass battle scenes.
And as much as I enjoy those badass battle scenes, I would enjoy seeing the other parts of it because that's part of like any role playing game you play. You know, it's what am I going to choose? Why am I going to choose it? So for me, that would be good.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the creators of the anime were like, let's leave that out.
Well,
Which
someone said before, and I don't know how true this is, but someone said that anime is only used as a marketing tool. It's never intended to be as good of or as a replacement for, whatever book it's, based off of. So most anime that is based off of something is just meant to be like a commercial.
that's probably a bad way to look at it, or a bad way to be, I should say. But
Hmm.
I get why they would do it because they want to sell
Like,
more
oh,
books.
you want to know more? Well,
Well, there's all these books you can look into. Okay.
uh-huh. Hmm.
You should give them too much in the anime and then be like, if you want it toned down because it's too wild for you, go read.
Look, if you want to imagine it, then yeah.
Once again, reasons why Keith is not in marketing. But should we rate these episodes in maybe the first season of Solo Leveling, gentlemen?
I'm down for that.
Well, for me, it started off good. I enjoyed the first episode and a half, but then when I got cut off for I don't know how many, few weeks, I guess, and I started, went back in and watched them all. It for me, I know you guys aren't going the same direction, but for me, it just got more and more convoluted. It felt like I was watching someone else play a game, and then the dialogue was them describing it to me. I don't know. I just didn't, like I was saying earlier, it just didn't connect with it. Sorry, I didn't. You don't connect with
Don't be
everything.
sorry
You
about it.
don't need to
I had
apologize, man.
moments. I had phone moments. I had a lot of phone moments. I did fall asleep during an episode, and I don't want to be putting it down because I really want to try and like anime. I do, but I just haven't had that much luck so far. So, and these last three episodes, I really felt like I was just watching a game. So, I'm gonna rate those a 4. I'm gonna rate the entire season a 5. I might go back and try it again to see if I connect with it better, but that's where it stands for me right now. Morbius level.
I would just like to say too, Twitch, we know that you make your money from people watching video games. Dave's comments do not represent those of Not Your Status Quo. We like watching people play video games a lot. We love it. Keep those checks
It
coming.
would be different
please.
if I was watching somebody play a game and then hearing them comment about it too. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Twitch, you're awesome. There it is.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, you know what? I see it a little differently than Dave, which it's okay. That's why there's 3 of us rating it. We all see it differently. I have not had really any phone moments. I've dug. I think the writing has been pretty solid. There's certain things I disagree with, and I think one of them, the armor we were talking about earlier, making it invisible is a little too easy for him and doesn't make any issues that he has to cover up or hide, or it doesn't make any more problems for him. Which when you get powerful equipment like that, there should be problems associated with it, which he seems to easily forego. But they've been writing in a bunch of different like plot points. The Joe He stuff, which I really enjoyed because it seemed like they were really pushing that they were going to kind of end up together at some point, and they still might. But her at the beginning of episode 10 basically saying, "I'm just not built to do this. I've seen this stuff. I can't deal with it. It's too much for me. I'm retiring as a hunter. I'm going to go move with my parents." And I like that because it made sense. Her character was portrayed that way throughout it. To see a massive change in her all of a sudden be like, let's go raiding, wouldn't fit. So I liked it. Even though I thought it was going to go a different way, I still enjoyed it. We see these different plot points with the guild. Not only, his buddy, I forgot his name, Jinho. With Jinho building a guild, but the stuff that they're doing together and bringing on the recruits to do the raids and people kind of figuring it out and, making all the other guilds not being able to get any C's for their people to train. There's so much going into each decision that's made and how it sort of spirals down to other things. We also got Jinho and his brother and his dad and what he's doing, and the intricacies of that business and what's going on. And then just seeing Jinwoo power up. I love it. I could watch that all day. Just seeing him like get new powers and be stronger and get new weapons. I mean, there's nothing more fun in playing a game than having enough money to buy some weapon. And you're just like, oh, I cannot wait to use, or, oh, I know I'm about to fight a bunch of knights, and look at this thing called the Night Slayer. Of course. For me, that was just pure fun. And just to see not everything pan out, like I was talking about earlier. They've been hitting on Jeju Island and what's going on. And instead of it wrapping up nice and neat and a nice little bow in this episode, we found out, hey, they're heading there, but it's worse than they possibly thought. So things are going to come down. We still have them trying to recruit S rank things for the guild that hasn't fully played out. I just think there's so much going on. I'm really enjoying this. Now, that being said, Dave, I don't think this is as good as Death Note. I definitely don't think it's as good as Cowboy Bebop, but it's enjoyable, and I'm liking it. So for me, I'm going to give the last 3 episodes like a 7.8, and I think I'm going to give the entire first season an 8. Good, borderline great. I'm enjoying it, and I honestly can't wait to watch season 2. Even if we don't review it for the show and any of the future seasons, this is something I will continue to watch, even if the channel's not reviewing it.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you, Keith. There's a lot in this that I do enjoy. However, Dave, I will also admit the very first time that I was watching this, I did fall asleep a couple of times. I don't know if it was out of boredom or if it was because I tend to watch a lot of anime kind of late at night, like getting ready for bed. So it may have been more long. But as I was rewatching these episodes, I realized there was a lot of stuff that I had missed before, either that or I just hadn't caught. Like that one young girl that kept showing up, at the strike team or whatever.
The kid.
Yeah, the kid. I don't remember her at all, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, did I miss all this? Like, what the heck? And so like I'm going back. I'm like, did I miss an episode before when I watch this? But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I'm picking up on now that I must have missed in the past, and to me, it's still a very good show. There are a couple of slower episodes, like the last group that we had reviewed. And there was like a slow episode here and there, and so they're not all going to be winners. And like Keith, I do also have like, it's not perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect, and I have a couple of issues here and there with how they treat certain things. But for the most part, I think the storytelling is competent, especially compared to Lazarus. Most of the stuff that happens, there's enough of an explanation. They plan it out. You like what the things that happen make sense. Like I don't want to say that you expect it as in that this was going to happen, but when it does happen, an event such as like when he mentions the whole intelligence thing, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes it because they set it up. Or when he, brings up, hey, I forgot to do my daily quest. Oh well, again, it was all part of the setup, and I'm glad that they do that because, again, hate to keep kicking a dead horse, but Lazarus was so bad at that. Anything that they set up like never paid off, and this feels so much better, so much more competent. And I could be, because the last anime we watched was so terrible, I could be thinking higher of this, putting it on a higher pedestal than, maybe if I hadn't ever seen Lazarus, but it's still good. I enjoy it. And yeah, like you, Keith, I am ready to dive into season 2, whether we are going to do it for the channel or not. And, I can't wait for season 3 too. So I am going to give these last 3 episodes, I'm going to give them, they were probably some of my favorite out of the bunch. I can't think of anything really bad that I disliked about them except for the whole like armor reveal thing. So I'm going to give these last 3 episodes an 8. So I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10, and the series overall somewhere between a 7.5 and an 8. I'm struggling because, like I said, not all of the episodes are winners, but it is a good series. I think I'm going to stick with a 7.5 for the series overall. It is good. I very much recommend that you guys check it out. And again, if it's not your slice of pie, so to speak, then hey, you know what? That's just how it goes. Not all anime is going to be for everyone, but that doesn't mean that all anime is bad. You'll definitely find something that you like.
100% agree.
I'm gonna say this is not your status quo. Was that what you were gonna say a second ago?
That is, yes. I think we should drink to that.
All right.
And those of you out in the chat, if you have seen Solo Leveling, you want to tell us what you rated for the entire first season, thoughts on if you watch season 2, don't spoil it, but does it continue down this path? Let us know. But we do have some other things to talk about. And I will let you gentlemen decide. We've got some Star Wars news, we've got some DC Studio news, and we got some Marvel Studio news.
Give us some Marvel news first. That's usually the lamest.
Okay, I'm going back to our normal, not your status quo symbol down in the bottom left. Okay, so this first one, I don't think it's a real surprise to anybody, but there will be a sequel to the Fantastic Four First Steps, and it sounds like Matt Shankman will be back to direct.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I thought he did a great job. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought the style and everything. We're obviously going to get them in Doomsday and Secret Wars before the sequel. So, a lot may change by the time we see that sequel.
And it goes to what Doug was saying, that lean into the comic book weirdness for this stuff, because that's who's going to come out and see your movie. If you're trying to pander to people who don't normally get into comics, you're going to get results like they are saying these results that they're getting are like less than, exciting. I still think it's doing great. $370 million in what, 3 weeks? It's still doing good.
Especially since it cost $200 million to make.
Yeah, so they've already, and there's, they're already making a profit on this movie. So, well, I don't know why everyone's coming down on it. To me, with the critical reviews on it, like, I haven't seen anybody say it was terrible or anything that was bad. Just that the profits went down. But that happens with everyone, especially with superhero movies. The second week is always like the worst week. So it's a really good show, and I will watch it again, and everyone should.
Post-pandemic box office hasn't been what it was prior. So, like Superman, probably not going to make as much worldwide as Man of Steel did. Isn't indicative. It's like apples to oranges. It's made more domestically, but for the post-pandemic and maybe other things going on in this fine country of ours, could be hurting the international box office a bit. We won't
Tell
get
us
into
how
that.
you really feel, Keith.
I'll save that for later.
I will say that it seems to me at least that there is a bit of a turnaround happening with the movie theaters. When we went to go see Fantastic Four First Steps, that's the fullest I've seen a movie theater in a while, not counting the Superman premiere we went to.
Yep. Oh, people are coming out for good quality stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep writing good stories.
Exactly. People will start coming back. It does take time, because remember the first couple of movies we saw post-pandemic in the theater, empty.
Rough.
There was like us and maybe a couple other people, but it was nobody. So it definitely seems like it is on the comeback trail. And box office will get back to where it was. Just takes time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you ready for the second and final MCU little tidbit? Actually, I take that back. There's another tidbit that I saw.
All right.
The Punisher special presentation has wrapped filming.
Good. Awesome.
Good.
And
You mean they completed the script and finished filming?
Yes. Shockingly, the script was finished before they started filming. I don't know what they were thinking. Don't know where they got that from. And if you haven't seen it, we're not going to show it here because of the language, possibly, that John Barathol used. But he talks, when they wrapped posting, he gives a little speech about all the people it works on. It was great. I really liked seeing it. He's swearing quite a bit and, just talking how, this
Still
was
in Punisher mode.
This was the
Yeah,
impossible, and we ended up doing it because of this MFer over here and this and that. And, it looks like he really, because he co-wrote this, and he really takes this character to heart. He wants it to be the Punisher that we all deserve, and it shows. And it sounds like, this special presentation is going to be amazing. So
I really like when these actors or actresses really get to know their character because they truly do want to give it their all. Like, not that this would have saved Madam Web, but if, Dakota Johnson had like cared just an ounce more instead of like going around like, what's your favorite Marvel superhero? Is Batman one?
Come on, I want to drive my car to Peru. Come on.
I want to drive an ambulance through the second floor of a parking structure and have fake
That happens to come
Spider-Man
out of a billboard.
and have fake Spider-Man jump up into it.
Right. But no, hearing things like John Barenthal like actually caring and like really involved in how the character is portrayed and everything like that. Seeing oh my gosh, Daredevil.
Charlie
Actor.
Cox.
Charlie Cox, thank you. Seeing Charlie Cox even say, yeah, no, changes had to be made to that script. It wasn't good. Because he knows the character so well. I want to see more of that in the MCU. I want to see these characters actually take to heart the character they're portraying and get to know, like, what makes them good.
Yeah, and not that we've seen it yet, but Mahershala Ali, same way with Blade.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to walk off the project if they didn't fix the script. It seems like they finally fixed the script, but we don't know. But we'll
time's the charm, right?
Fixing it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's done yet.
Yeah, they're in the process.
Yes.
They're not done yet.
But you're right, Dave. It's good to know that if he ends up starring as Blade in a Blade movie, it's probably going to be pretty good because he was willing to walk away from it when the script was not up to what it needs to be. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and finally, this is something we talked about sometime last week. Everyone was proclaiming that Mr. Negative was going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And now people are coming out and saying that's not true. And I think a lot of people were saying it because the Inner Demons emblem was on that tank that we saw in some of the behind-the-scenes pictures that came out. So it sounds like Mr. Negative might not be in it. But he still might, because who knows who's right. Whenever these scoopers start arguing, it's hard to determine who's right. But it honestly could have just been a little Easter egg that they put in there to kind of reference, maybe even for future Spider-Man movies, the Inner Demons and Mr. Negative.
That's honestly what I thought that they were going with when I first heard that rumor, because that's something that the other Spider-Man movies in the MCU have been doing. They reference other stuff happening around Spider-Man that is going on in the MCU. The Homecoming opened with the the aftermath of Loki in the battle in New York, and like why that made the Vulture become who he was. We see the fallout of like what happened after Tony passed away in the next Spider-Man movie. So like all of these things, we see that it's a larger world happening around Peter. So for them to reference something else that may have happened or is yet to happen, that's perfectly reasonable. I expect that at this point in these movies.
Yeah, it's funny that we got an Easter egg on a behind-the-scenes photo, possibly, that by the time the movie comes out, everyone's like, yeah, it's an Inner Demons emblem. We know it. Pshaw.
Pshaw.
So did we ever find out if Sting wrote the theme song to this movie?
No. We did not.
No. Okay. Sorry, dad jokes are not.
No one has cashed one in that I see. But Peter Tail on Twitch says best viewers on Steam, space.com, remove the space. Thank you, Peter Tail. I'll call you Mr. Peter Cottontail. We are looking for the best viewers, but we already have them. The fellow nerds, our community is the best ever. We don't need anyone off steamboo.com unless they want to be here. We'd be more than happy to welcome them.
Steamboo.com. All right.
All right, gentlemen. Do you want to talk DC Studios or Star Wars?
DC. Let's end on Star Wars.
I agree.
Excellent. Okay, we got two things. This is the theme of the day. Two things for DC Studios. The Batman 2 is set to begin filming next spring. Script is done.
Finally.
James Gunn has said the script is fantastic, and filming begins in the spring.
Cool.
I, for one, am fired up. I am excited. The theme still lives rent-free in my head almost every day. I may have added it to my Spotify playlist to listen to in the car on the way to Chicago tomorrow. I don't know. I could be lying. You never know. Maybe I didn't. I did. I totally did. But that's not here.
Maybe it just pops up randomly. You never know.
Exactly. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. But I'm excited. The first Batman movie was great. It's been a long time since that movie came out, so I'm looking forward to the Batman Part 2 coming out.
Did you know that their original choice to play the Riddler was Jonah Hill?
I did not know that.
But he wanted too much money, so they got Paul Dano. I thought Paul Dano did a great job. Anyway,
Excellent job, yeah.
I think I'm happy they went with him. It seemed to be a little more grounded than probably Jonah Hill might have portrayed it. I don't know that for sure. Nothing against Jonah Hill, of course.
Yeah, he's just got a certain style of acting that, I think Paul Dano nailed this kind of this version of the Riddler better than anyone could. Like Heath Ledger hit the Joker.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Maybe
is more
Jonah
of a
Hill
comedian.
can be Bullock.
Okay, yes.
Sure.
He may want too much money for that too. But David Zaslav, everybody's favorite CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, has referred to the secret Superman project that is being written by James Gunn as the next movie in the Super family.
Okay.
That me.
So it sounds like we might be getting a Superman Supergirl team up. I don't know if any of the other Super family may be showing up. Superboy,
Crypto again.
Crypto again. Let's
They
hope
got to
so.
do
Yes.
crypto again.
They will definitely do crypto. So I don't know if James wanted that little tidbit released, but now that it's out there, he has said. Someone asked him on Threads the other day, "Oh, now that we know it's a super family, are you still in the planning stages?" He's like, "Oh, past the planning stages, I'm writing it."
Oh, wow. All right.
So that's good news.
Good for him.
Yeah, excited for that. We need more DC projects. So far, Creature Commandos and Superman have both been excellent. Hopefully, Peacemaker season 2 is, which I have no doubt to believe. The first season was great, and then Lanterns has been getting a lot of praise by people in the know. Let's hope it's not another Flash is the best comic book movie of all time type stuff, but we will be
2
okay.
weeks from today, as a matter of fact, on Peacemaker.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That's
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to watch the season 1 again between now and then.
Probably a good idea.
Excellent idea. Absolutely brilliant idea, sir.
I gotta get another drink now. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. While Dave is getting that, we will get ready for this Star Wars tidbits for the evening, probably to finish out the evening. Once
Okay.
again, anybody out in the chat has any thoughts on anything, please let us know. We love interacting with you guys. Kevin Davis, if you're still out there, you want to talk box office, we're here for it. We know you love it. Oh, I'm getting smart. I changed our logo to the Star Wars logo.
Ooh,
I know.
fancy pants. Well.
Crazy.
Okay.
All right, Dave is
Over
back.
here thinking y'all fancy and whatnot.
We're talking
back.
Star Wars. Star Wars. Those
Those
crazy.
crazy Star Wars. Oh boy, now I'm gonna have Bill Murray singing that in my head all.
And this not only announced via Deadline, but also has now been confirmed by Lucasfilm. Matt Smith has been cast as the villain of Star Wars Starfighter.
I could totally see that.
He was
He's a villain.
originally going to be a villain in Star Wars Episode 9, which never got made for some reason.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
They
that's
should
weird.
make it one of these days.
They'll finish it up at some point. But yeah, good for Matt Smith. As much as I loathed him as the Doctor and in Morbius, his work on House of the Dragon has brought him back up in my eyes. Thank you, Matt Smith. We look forward to your wonderful portrayal of a villain in Star Wars. Starfighter. Not the last Starfighter, just Starfighter.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
a
the first
completely
Starfighter?
different movie with a video game. Involving a video game from the 1980s.
Yep, you're right. All right. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for.
Okay.
Lucasfilm's
Sorry.
pla-
Oh. No.
It's a raid! Lucasfilm's plans for the Star Wars New Jedi Order era have reportedly been revealed. And this is by Daniel RPK. It will be similar to the Mandoverse,
Okay.
which you could do your
Loosely
own thing.
interlocked.
We like the Mandoverse. That's okay. You don't have to. Sounds like executives going, hey, people are liking this. Let's be more like that, possibly. But if they can make it on the same enjoyable level as the Mandoverse, we're all good. It does begin with Daisy Ridley's upcoming film, which has been delayed and delayed and delayed, much like the aforementioned Blade movie we talked about earlier. So who knows when that's going to finally come out.
I hope it's because somebody is looking at the script and fine-tuning it and trying to figure out, like, you know what? I'm of the mindset, take the time you need if the movie that you're going to produce is actually good.
That's been the problem we've had with these kind of movies lately, is that like we've been saying about Marvel going in, starting filming without a full script and then just waiting for it to play out. No, get the story down first and then make your movie. And then you will start seeing billion-dollar movies all the time.
They are too worried about getting so many movies out per year, or we did a trilogy. We did, Force Awakens, and we did Last Jedi. We got to get Episode 9 out as quickly as possible. They need to get out of that mentality because it really affects the quality of these movies. So, hey, write a good script. I'm not against Daisy Ridley's character of Rey. I didn't like the way she was written in some of the previous movies, but that doesn't mean the character can't be a fine character.
And I think it really does boil down to the writing. I think she could play a very competent character. And again, we've mentioned this before on this channel. It's not always the actor's fault. Sometimes they are just bad at acting, but I do think she is a competent actress. And I think if her character had been written better and they didn't try to fast track her, becoming the ultimate Jedi Master, they would have just spread her story out so it was longer than a weekend. Maybe it would have been better.
I actually saw her in this movie called Cleaner, where she plays a window cleaner on the side of a building. And the building kind of gets hijacked, kind of like a Die Hard type of thing. And she's the one who fixes it all.
Did she do a Die Hard?
She did a Die Hard. Or now they call it a cleaner. She does a cleaner. But, yes, she does a cleaner. Everyone loved the movie. No, it was a good movie. And it shows she has the chops. So,
that's
right.
good.
I think that she can do well with a well-written part.
I saw that, what is it, 57 billion BC or whatever the heck that movie was called with Adam Driver.
Oh, yeah, the ones where he's back on the dinosaur planet or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's called 65.
Yeah. So that was a terrible movie. He's a good actor, but that was a god-awful movie.
I have never seen it, and I'm glad I have.
You're not missing much.
Good. Won't go out of my way to watch it. And then finally, the last little Star Wars tidbit we got, all about the new Jedi Order era of Star Wars. It will gradually build towards a major event that brings together characters introduced in past films.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
Han and Leia?
No, maybe
No.
not. But I wonder
Lost?
what that means, because does that mean it could be like the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, if they are, because that's what they're kind of doing in the Mandoverse right now. They're kind of doing this, and it seems like they're going to all sort of end game it. They're going to do an end game and have all these major Thrawn offensive, and all the characters are going to come back and stop them and do all that fun. So it sounds like they want to do that again, if that is what we're getting with the Mandoverse with this, which is fine. Once again, you write it well, we'll all flock to the theaters.
You know what I wouldn't be mad at? They would obviously have to do some recasting. If they truly are going to, like, and I know this, let me rephrase that. I was about to say if they're going to stick with the last three movies, as canon, which they obviously are. It's silly to say that. Anybody out there that says, "Oh no, they're not canon. Oh, they're going to rewrite them. Oh, they're going to that's not going to happen. Disney doesn't do that crap. They'll reboot their movies that have been animated, but they don't erase any of their old stuff. Probably not going to happen. But what I wouldn't mind seeing then, since that is the story that we have, if you could give us a lead up series similar in tone to Andor, showing the fall of the New Republic as they're becoming more corrupt and former Imperials are kind of leaking into the new Senate, and we see them being so dismissive of the threats that Leia is pointing out. I think that would be a very interesting series. I
Tony
think that would
Gilroy,
have potential.
if you're available,
Yeah.
start writing it.
Like
be-
call it Rise of the Resistance, or if you want to call it, name it after a character. I don't know, invent a new Resistance character that is going to die before episode 7. Yeah.
Do you have something to say, buddy?
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Right now, save 50 pounds per person. That's 200 pounds off for a family of 4. Bye, everyone.
See you, Soul
Hope
Man.
you guys get a Jet 2 holiday.
Oh boy. So, should we find somebody to raid, gentlemen?
I think we should. But I
Yes.
am struggling to see who is out there for us to join.
It's another slow night.
It is a bit of a slow night.
I got my car.
Yeah, Macaw's there. Ora Bora
Skip
playing Elden
there.
Ring, Night Rain.
Okay.
How come I don't have Ouroboros?
Yeah, I don't see that either. Must be somebody that you followed.
The Star Wars Underground is on, talking about Matt Smith joining the cast of.
Oh, yeah, go there. Definitely go there.
Let's see. Carmen is on. Decked Out EDH. Who are they? Nerd Girl and Joe get divorced? What? Okay. T-Pain is
Skirms
on.
is playing Dead by Daylight.
Who is?
Skirms.
Oh, I don't have them.
And that girl that we rated the other night, she just started up her stream.
Oh, yeah, Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, gentlemen?
I'm good with whatever.
Sarah J., our new friend.
All right.
Sounds
She's
good.
gonna be like, "Oh my God, these guys are rating me again." Now,
You
for
know
those
it,
of you
too.
out there that are wondering what rating is, if you are new to all of this, rating is where we take all of our lovely viewers hanging out in Twitch that have been chatting and commenting and offering the best viewers to us. We take all these wonderful people and we drop them off at somebody else's channel because, look, we got busy lives. You're going to daycare, kids. But no, it's our way of sharing the love, spreading the joy, keeping the party going on Twitch. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't quite have anything nearly as effective, not anything as good. But we still love you out there in YouTube land, so if you are watching us, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Show us a little bit of love. Like the video. And also, as always, we want to hear from you, so comment down below. And we'll see you next time, but not this Thursday. Or not this Sunday. Right here on Not Your Status Quo. Hey fellow nerds, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.